Greetings, everyone. Peace and blessings. I am the Moon Mama. Today is Tuesday, the day that Mars rules, and Mars is currently in Taurus. I wanted to come in today and talk about the Cancer Sun and the Moon in Aquarius, which is happening today. But first, let me tell you about who I am and what I do, and how I can support you if you are moving through transitions and changes in your life. Like I said, my name is Monique. I am a life coach, and my specialty is helping people heal family trauma, break generational curses, transform their own selves so that they can become who they're meant to be. The beauty of the work that I do is aligned with astrology, which is a cosmological practice of how we as human beings are connected to this greater experience of this earth realm, this solar system. And we are living at a time when our reality, our perceptions have been hijacked. And what does that mean? We live in this, so for me, I live in a country called America. The days of the week, there's a financial system, there's a medical system, there's a government system, and all of these systems are organized in ways that we have to participate in them. Education system, and these systems run counter to nature. They run counter to who we truly are. And so because we've been indoctrinated and conditioned in them, many of us are very far away. Just imagine yourself being lost, like you're in a place and you're completely lost. That's sort of how we are. We are in our bodies, but we're lost because we don't know that there is another cosmic clock. We've been conditioned towards capitalism and white supremacy and patriarchy and all of these externalized, all of those things that I just named, white supremacy, patriarchy, are externalized ways of relating to the reality. And what do I mean when I say externalized ways? We have learned to overlook our feelings, overlook what's going on inside of us, to do what the culture demands. So say, for instance, if you were a child and you didn't want to go to school, you had to go because that's what everybody else was doing. Like your parents had to go to work. So if you didn't go to school, you were out of sync with the rhythm of our nation. The same is true for our medical treatments and how we manage our health and wholeness. Rather than going to nature to heal, when something's going on in our bodies, we're like, oh, something is wrong and I'm sick. And you go to the doctor and they prescribe you something, but they don't talk about, your family history and your eating habits. I remember once when I was newly a new mom and I was really going through it. And the doctor just was like, get off stop breastfeeding, and gave me some antidepressants. And I was like, but I have a child who needs breast milk. Like, what are some other solutions? Like, you can't, but his solution was to give my child, formula. So the systems that we've been indoctrinated in are against our natural flow. So my work is to help people find their rhythm, and then you feel it inside of you. You can feel like, oh, I feel off. Oh, I feel disconnected. Oh, this doesn't feel right for me. And many of us, it's simply because we are functioning in ways that we are not meant to function over extended periods of time. And so, like I like to say, our perceptions have been hijacked. And for those of us, there was a time that I personally believe that Black people are prisoners of war. We don't know that. We don't think of it that way, but we really are, because we're so far away from our natural practices and ways of being. And many of us are prisoners of war because we abandoned our indigenous practices for this American thing. And so all of us have become prisoners of those ways of being that ultimately are leading us into deep experiences of illness and disconnection and our systems being completely unharmonized. And so I'm here to help us fix it. So today is the moon is in Aquarius. And it's a Mars day, which means that Mars rules the day. So it's a day of action. It's a day of taking action. It's a day of being intentional and deliberate in the actions you take. And the moon is in Aquarius and the sun is in Cancer. The sun is in Cancer. That is, the Cancer energy is about your inner world. It's about your emotions. And our emotions get formulated and conditioned in our families when we are children. We begin to feel certain things about ourselves according to how our parents treat us, how they treat one another, how they treat themselves, and we take that on. And then Aquarius is this energy of freedom. So today is a really great day for you to be looking in your life and seeing what patterns that you carried from your childhood that don't serve you any longer. What kind of belief systems, how do you feel about yourself? Like one of the things about Cancer energy, it's about being soothable, like really nurturing yourself. And many of us grew up in environments sometimes where we weren't nurtured in the way we needed nurturing, right? So many of us, like I said, we were hijacked. So you had to go to school, you had to do these other things. And now as an adult, you have needs that didn't get met. And those needs that didn't get met can show up as depression, can show up as anxiety, can show up as, a lot of negative self-talk, because there was a need inside of you that was an organic need that didn't get met because your parents' needs didn't get met and their parents' needs didn't get met. So there becomes this expectation that we all just continue to do the same thing. But now we're living at a time when the world is really changing. And so we have an opportunity to come back to ourselves. And you are responsible for healing, reconciling, re-nurturing, reframing your own experience. So how is this for me right now? I've been doing this work for a long time. So the things that I'm working on are, I see that there are things that I've always been working on that I continue to work on, but I do make progress in it. So one of the things that I'm really working on right now is my ability to lean into my intuition much more than I lean into my ego, to really get my ego to follow and not lead. Now, the ego is always remembering what happened. Like, oh, that happened. When that happened, that's what I did. When that happened, that's what I did. When she said that, I did that. Like, that's what the ego does. And the intuition is present in the moment and saying, I'll know what to do when I need to know. I look for the signs, I look for the symbols, and I trust that there is a greater force leading me through situations, even very tough situations. Right now, I have the most fascinating things happening. The apartment building I live in is up for sale. I'm about to travel to Bali to be with a group of women for 20 days. We're going on a goddess retreat, and I'm the facilitator of it. I'm partnered with someone else. And what I'm really recognizing in me is the part of myself that has given my authority away to others and hasn't trusted that my particular authority, because I understand my natal chart, leans into intuition, leans into the invisible, the unseen, leans into the feminine. And it's not because I'm a woman, because the feminine, it just means the internal. People like to think that the feminine means that you're soft and you have a quiet life and your nails are done. And that's not what the feminine is at all. The feminine is your internal guidance system. It's the place where we create from. It's that inner space that most of us never, ever meet. So it's important for us to learn how our energy works. So because the sun is in Cancer, we have an entire month to begin to reprogram our inner world, to begin to feel our feelings, to get curious about our feelings. Why do I feel what I feel? What do I feel? And then do the work to assimilate those energies. So if you'd like to work with me, I'm right now running a special on my natal chart readings. Natal chart readings are only $99. They're normally $185. And they'll be this way for 3 days. So I would love to have you sign up on my calendar, book a reading, and I look forward to supporting you in your healing journey. Peace and blessings, everyone. I'm the Moon Mama. Have a really beautiful Tuesday. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.